Afenyo is a crazy man. The people who are defending Afenyo Markin on TV and on radio, they are foolish. When you sit on TV or on radio to speak in favor of Afenyo Markin, and you say you don't understand why the police will look at the footage and call Afenyo Markin or release a statement, then would sign Afenyo Markin actually assaulted a police officer in the history of the Republic of Ghana. This is the first time the internet has captured a minority leader assault a police officer. Since say you say Ghana, me who member of parliament or say a minority leader or Gina Bedum not weighing inside the ship police in Yasum. This is the party that you people want us to tell Ghanaians to vote for. Minority leader in public, on national television, on BBC, on CNN, on Al Jazeera, slapping a police officer in uniform twice. Say Afenyo Markin because of our parliament. Because you see our minority leader. Now we Gina say Gina Aja TV so abo police in Yasuma Yena Yehu. Now says the Ghana Police Service I'm making sure say Afenyo Markin Ghana mradino emana kode fiasia. Then the Ghana Police Service everybody should understand say you feed your mood to the dogs. The young people on the street, they can butcher a police person. They can beat a police person. They can shoot a police. They can slap a police person. Because this is Afenyo Markin, who is a lawmaker. The minority leader, Afenyo Markin. Now, Afenyo Markin as the minority leader, no. See, I make John Mahama ne 120 days. Juma John Mahama aye. I wanted Ghanaians to know. And I'm a sometimes you ask yourself, say, Debiana MPP for Ebusa say, na John Mahama ne NDC verbal power no first 120 days there no maye. And the question you also need to ask yourself and then say, MPP bought opposition 120 days under the leadership of Afenyo Markin. What have they achieved? Mibusau, 120 days. John Mahama and the NDC, they have led this country. And you hear the NPP every day. Oh, Ediana, John Mahama, Omaye. As an opposition party, there's something that opposition needs to do to make you Ghanaian now or share opposition. Because, okay, I'm looking at opposition. They are showing glimpses. They are showing some little tendencies. Say, if they are given the chance, they can come in and do better. 120 days under the leadership of Afenyo Markin as the minority leader of the NPP in Parliament, under the leadership of this thug, this fool who calls himself a politician, under the leadership of this pedophile protector, under the leadership of this guy who basically thinks he can push everybody under the bus because of politics, under the leadership of this thug, this criminal who slaps police officers, under the leadership of this idiot. What has the NPP in opposition, what have they been able to achieve? And today, I'm going to prove to you why, as a Ghanaian, an opposition party needs to prove itself more than the party in government. Because if it calls itself the alternative, then it needs to do things and say things and act in a way that will make you consider that alternative. And most importantly, when a party is in opposition, the leadership should be the eye. It should be the most important part of that party. And this twerp, this disease of a criminal calling himself a politician, Afenyo Markin, a leader who basically slaps a police officer in public. I want to ask, under his leadership as the leader of the NPP in Parliament, what has the opposition achieved? I will tell you. But before that, I want us to look into this matter of Afenyo Markin slapping a police officer, the deliberate lies. You see, the NPP as a political party, they are still thinking, say, Ghana for Jimmy. They are still thinking, say, we Ghanaians, we still don't understand the omoye any atro. You see these people, from the day omote party, every single thing Kwame Nkrumah ye omo dane no. Every single thing JJ Rollins Babe ye omo dane no. Every single thing Atamil Sine Mahama ba ye omo dane no. Every single thing Mahama ba ye omo dane no. Every single thing Mahama ye and omo dane no. It's a party that is enshrined. A party ye de atro ene de etiti omo. They don't care. You can catch them holding a knife, stabbing another human being. They will tell you, say, that knife was a carrot. And I know these people. These are people who kill. They smile about it. These are people who murdered JB Dankwa. They never mentioned his name for 8 years on any platform. These are people who deliberately poisoned John Kuma. They did it. Till date, they have not even mentioned John Kuma's name again. These are people who send party boys to go to Ayawasu to brutalize Ghanaians. These are people who put thugs, criminals, murderers in military and police uniforms and tell them to go and kill civilians because they want power. This is a political party that is enshrined. This is a political party that believes in killing, destroying, and lying. So NPP, Asamuba, na omo part of the story. You need to take a step back and watch this group of thugs. Watch this group of rapists, disease of political incarnates. Watch these people who never speak the truth. Listen to them carefully. You will see, say, it's a party that is not ready. That is not ready to respect the intelligence of Ghanaians. And a typical example is this social vice. This wayward, diabolical character filled with poisonous intentions. This filthy political bandits. This misguided, hopeless, senseless, criminal-minded political insects. Afenyo Markin. These are the people who are leading the NPP today. Now, this is a man who has stolen Winneba for Asase for 99 years. Kasongo 99. Don't get it twisted. Now, Asama Abedawa, yenyina yehu video evidence. You and I, we have watched the video several times. You and I, we have taken our time to analyze the video. No? Now, Endra Asam Debaye, no? The Ghana Police Service led by the IGP and then the CID office, they released a statement. And you know one interesting thing? In the statement, now Ghana Police, a release, you know, they made some astonishing statement. Oh, sorry. They made some a statement that basically exposes the NPP. That statement was very technical, and that statement was very critical. That statement, the Ghana Police Service, a release, you know. So we are very intelligent na utie, even from the CID boss nenum on one kaseka. And that statement they issued that you could see, say, the Ghana Police Service, the CID department, they took their time to put that statement out. Say, Afenyo Markin, he needs to be investigated when it comes to assaulting a police officer. Now, you see, the NPP have a way of lying. It does not matter who you are. The moment you join the NPP, you become a devil. And the devil is a liar. And this guy called Richard Ahiagba, the communications director, he was the first person to come to Joy FM after they assaulted the police officer to lie about what happened. Now, after they assaulted the police officer, now you buy inside Ghana for no cure about what they have done. No? They quickly released a statement because the police had released a statement. Andra said, Afenyo Markin, the Parliament of Ghana, the speaker should give the police the right to arrest him to come assist in investigations. They quickly came out with an explanation. Now, I mentioned Adebi. What was this statement from the Ghana Police Service? Where read this statement? No. So, who read this statement? Me we are mesabo the CID boss. she spoke on this matter when she had a press conference. Bibi Amechira Debi. I say police invite Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin to assist investigation into viral demonstration video. Now, the Ghana Police Service has reviewed anytime I say MPP for Afenyo is a crazy man. The people who are defending Afenyo Markin on TV and on radio, they are foolish. The Ghana Police Service has reviewed several video footages. So the statement coming from the Ghana Police Service, they were not looking, or they didn't look at the video from one angle. Remember, the Ghana Police Service, they send their cameras there. So apart from independent or private bloggers or news outlets capturing the event, the Ghana Police Service itself captures the event because sometimes they need those things to back their claim when they have to prosecute or they have to make a case. So when you read their message very well, they said the Ghana Police Service has reviewed several video footages on an alleged assault on a police officer by Alexander Afenyo Markin during the just ended demonstration. The Ghana Police Service has reviewed several. They have reviewed several videos, meaning it wasn't just one footage. They have seen different footages. So that is what influenced the Ghana Police Service to issue a statement that they need Afenyo Markin to come to help or to assist in investigations. The Ghana Police Service did not just look at one angle to come to a conclusion that Afenyo Markin, the thug, should be brought in to help in investigations. The Ghana Police Service reviewed several videos. And when they reviewed several videos, they came to that conclusion that Afenyo Markin has committed an offense. And that is assault. You get their statement well. Now, when you go to the second paragraph, this is what it says. Following the review, the service has written to the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament requesting the release of Alexander Afenyo Markin to assist ongoing investigation into the alleged incident. The officer in question will also be assisting in investigations. So the investigation. So you can clearly see, the police were being very open-minded here. The police did not say we saw one video that Kevin Taylor showed on his show and that video concludes the matter. The police said they have reviewed several videos. So when you sit on TV or on radio to speak in favor of Afenyo Markin and you say you don't understand why the police will look at the footage and call Afenyo Markin or release a statement, then what's any because there should be a basis for the police to say now we are satisfied. We believe that we have a case and that we need to call the member of parliament who leads the 88 pigs. If the police were not sure that the action or the act was committed, the police wouldn't put in writing to the Honourable Speaker of Parliament to release that dog to come and assist in investigation. Now listen to what's his name? Ahiagba. Speaking on this matter.
I think this is just some people's attempts to divert attention from a successful demonstration. I don't think there's anything there to find. I've given you the fact that police should do the basic check. I mean, you just don't begin to issue these things because you have paper in front of you, but you should basically have understanding what has happened and see that there's a basis for that invitation. There's no basis for that invitation when the police officer is the one who accosted or assaulted the member. If anything at all, it was Afenyo Markin and the coalition of political parties that demonstrated should be going to the police to actually discipline the officer because he acted clearly out of line. It wasn't his place to touch anybody yesterday, and he did. And so if in reflex the minority leader is stretching his hand to prevent him from coming at him the second time, I don't see why that constitutes an assault at all. So the police are just wasting everybody's time, to be honest with you. And a deliberate attempt by the government or the NDC to share space with a very
as a party, you think the minority leader should not honor the police invitation?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm just saying to you that the police didn't do any due diligence. We're trusting them to be thorough in their work, but this year falls short of that discipline or diligence that we expect from them. You wouldn't have invited somebody who was assaulted to come and answer what question. It's the person who assaulted the person who you need to contend with, and who is the police officer for.
How is the police going to know that Afenyo Markin was assaulted? How is the police going to know that Afenyo Markin was assaulted by the police officer? It is only through investigations. So as much as you want Afenyo Markin to be heard, I think if you are rational and intelligent enough and not a fool, you also expect that the police officer who was working to protect you dogs also needs to be listened or to be heard. So why is it that you there, you believe you have a case, but the Ghana Police Service, they don't have a case? This twerp, this Volta Bed, was talking about basic checks. The police said in their statement, they have reviewed several videos. Any fool that spends its tongue, I'm not saying his tongue, any fool that spends its tongue thinking that they have a stupid accent, they sometimes think they are intelligent. The police, did you read the Ghana Police Service, their statement? What is basic checks? And they foolishly speak without understanding it, because party no di anymore and train the doors woman ko school omo Jimmy into omo ahiagba omo just what brofo, but ahiagba is just a fool who just speaks without thinking. What is basic checks? The police said they have reviewed several videos. That is beyond basic checks. So when you sit there, come sit on TV, when you sambram Jimmy the police just have paper, so they are writing. They are defending the action of Afenyo Markin. And you know, the most despicable thing about this whole thing, so what ye sanko fowe defense omodema Afenyo Markin. Afenyo Markin Nankasa came out after the police released a statement to say he's a thug, he's a criminal, he's a thief, he's an assault. You see, he assaulted a police officer. Afenyo Markin actually assaulted a police officer. In the history of the Republic of Ghana, this is the first time the internet has captured a minority leader assault a police officer. Do you know that? Even basic AI, when you ask AI about assault, police officer that has been assaulted, a police officer who was assaulted in Ghana during a demonstration or whatever, the first thing that comes out is Afenyo Markin, the minority leader of the NPP. When you read about misdemeanor, the offense at Afenyo Markin committee, the slapping of the police officer, when you even go on the internet, technology, in Ghana, assaulting police officer is a serious offense. And members of parliament are not exempt from legal consequences. Now, this is AI. When you put it in there, Afenyo Markin till we die will be seen as a minority leader who assaulted a police officer. This thing is going to be on this fool till he dies. You think it's a joke? This is the guy who is leading your party. Now, when you move on, it says this. The punishment for such an act will typically fall under Criminal Offence Act 1960, Act 29, which outlines penalties for assault and obstruction of law enforcement. Now, when you keep asking AI, this is what AI says. For an MP, the legal process will involve, listen, criminal charges. The MP could be charged with assault, which may lead to fines or imprisonment. Afenyo Markin police no born assume no Ghana mrache say you bet my charge no amane tua sika anase betumi da to efiase. Afenyo Markin is a criminal. Now, parliamentary inquiry. Parliament may conduct an internal investigation, potentially leading to disciplinary action. Parliament so internally omubetumi ebie investigations leading to Afenyo Markin ebetumi do point because ebetumi yinefi parliament. This is the leader of the NPP in parliament. This is a guy who makes laws, a thug who makes laws. And we sit here and we defend a thug like Afenyo Markin. When you keep reading, this is what it says. Police investigation. The Ghana Police Service would investigate the incident and determine whether prosecution is necessary. Police also make investigations. So my investigation, no one say this falls under this, under this, under that, he should be charged with this or that, then the police can go on with prosecution. So it's up to the Ghana Police Service. Now, so AI or and the internet, has captured Afenyo Markin as the minority leader in the history of Ghana who has slapped a police officer, a thug, leading group of thugs, wanting us to listen to them. Recently, minority leader Alexander Afenyo Markin was involved in an altercation with a police officer during the Save the Judiciary protest. The police have invited him for questioning regarding the incident. The internet has captured that a political party that wants to come to power, the leader of that political party in parliament, today is being seen. The police is waiting for him. He's known to be a thug who goes out to attack police officers. This is not a joke. It is on record. And this is going to follow Afenyo Markin till he dies. Since I see so, me who member of parliament watching in Sabo police in Yasumuda. Afenyo Markin kwana me who be ewo TV so. Since the same see so, since the say you take Ghana, me who member of parliament or say minority leader or Gina Bedum na wayin inside ya ship police in Yasum. This is the party that you people want us to tell Ghanaians to vote for. Yeah, Mamika Ibincho. You see, now Mamika Adibi. When Afenyo Markin decided to tell Ghanaians his side of the story, because Otis a police if one about actual letter about parliament say you're releasing no, now you're investigating no. He tried to lie. You see, it's so funny. When you watch the video, this is the video. This is not a joke, and he slapped the police officer twice. Now, we have decided to make a slow motion of this video. The intent, the intentions, and everything. So we share the slow motion version of this video. You can see clearly, say Afenyo Markin is a madman, and the NPP want us to treat this as some trivial matter. This is a minority leader in public, on national television, on BBC, on CNN, on Al Jazeera, slapping a police officer in uniform twice in front of the Flagstaff House. Now watch this in slow motion. Watch it. Take your time. Sorry, the sound is off. Now, me person me catch will say, the video you watched right now, no, take your time. Me sabe boni biom. Now, she police, you know, she ne chin, she na funo. Na she Afenyo Markin because obo police na sim twice. The first slap, no, see the impact of the slap. So, she police, you know, police, you know, na funo, ne chin kakra, ne jaw hase no. Slap na Afenyo Markin born no. How it shook a police in the name. Take your time and watch it. The guy deliberately decided to slap the police officer. And Sebio, police officer Debiana on person beka. But that was a hit. That was a punch. This is the minority leader. And the MPP want us to think, say, oh, this is nothing. Oh, this one there, Afenyo Markin. No, the guy deliberately slapped the police officer. Watch the video very well. Share the impact. Share police need to know. Share impact. And watch it again. Watch it again. I think, team, do we have a problem with sound? If we have a problem with sound, we can take a quick break. But if we are good with sound now, you can let me know. Team, are we good with sound? Okay, so viewers should refresh their system. If you are watching, just refresh your system. You refresh your phone, refresh your TV, whatever, restart, and you're going to get a sound right. I think it's a glitch. It's not from here. Into Osha, you can refresh your phone. But I think the point is made. Ebia na mekasana na yawo distraction kakrano. What I was trying to tell you, then say, the impact of the slap, no, impact slap, no. So person who say Afenyo Markin ebo police in asuma. Say the slow motion video now was shot. She police in a pantai ha, na she ne konwa, na she slap no bo police no, senya a whistle police in it. This is not a matter that we can treat as a trivial matter. No, this is a serious matter. This is the minority leader standing in front of thousands of people, slapping a police officer, not an ordinary person, slapping a uniformed police officer or share uniform. In this Ausha video now, take your time. He slapped him twice. But Afenyo Markin, I'm a catcher, I say, I police need an insa and a ball on the chest, or then it's a ball on the chest, no, now to me, home, or say, Jina baby, Afenyo Markin is lying. And this is not supposed to be treated to say where they are normal. No. Take your time and watch the video again. She first slap, no, second slap, no. The second slap of bone when left her. First slap, no, bone when him emane affected a police in the ocean con and na pantai ha. How it shook. And this is even a slow motion. This is super slow motion. And now we're there. Take your time and watch it again. Bebe sabe ma oti ase bone na Afenyo Markin di no ye ntumi ntoto na asem ye na ma kire obibi. This is Afenyo Markin. Now watch carefully. So how can you say this should be treated as a normal thing? No. The moment Afenyo Markin, the Ghana Police Service, it ceases to be Ghana Police Service. The moment Afenyo Markin, Amananko prison, Amanan serve as a deterrent to the young people on the street, to young people who want to attack the police. The moment Afenyo Markin are working free, we are done as a nation. It means we are now feeding the police to the dogs. So Afenyo Markin, because our parliament, because you see our minority leader, now we Gina area say Gina aja TV so abo police ni asuma ye nyina yehu. Na se Ghana Police Service am making sure say Afenyo Markin eya Ghana mradi no e mana kode fiase a, then the Ghana Police Service everybody should understand say you feed your mood to the dogs. The young people on the street, they can butcher a police person. They can beat a police person. They can shoot a police. They can slap a police person. Because this is Afenyo Markin, who is a lawmaker. There's no excuse here. Nobody can give me any excuse to say, no, you know something, let us forget about this. No, this man makes laws. In fact, when you go into parliament, Oko Parliament now go check the archives. This Afenyo Markin guy, we Gina Parliament several occasions to speak about brutality, police brutality, any other day, and even in Parliament, send ye listen ni pebi ade efa imrasha munsem. This Afenyo Markin, the same person in Parliament who makes laws and speaks on these things. Today, he is beating police officers in public.
2 years ago, we celebrated 30 years of democracy with a lot of activities. Mr. Speaker, it must never be said that this country still tolerates lawlessness and violence. I was expecting my respected colleague, Dr. Forson, to have found space to introduce this subject matter at the business committee, to even propose that, colleagues, I have heard of violence here, violence there. So, as a house, we should even constitute a bipartisan committee to look into the thuggery in our nation. The majority leader has decided not to talk about this. Just last week, Thursday, the Electoral Commission was ready to finalize the Ablekuma North collation process. What did we see? Some thugs invaded the EC office, threatening lives, destroying properties. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. It puts a black spot on our beautiful democracy. Maybe today it is benefiting somebody, but tomorrow the same thugs that we are encouraging them to be lawless may come back at us. Mr. Speaker, the government cannot pretend not to be aware of this. The Electoral Commission as a constitutional body needs protection. The police, headed by the respected IGP and his team, must do all it can to protect the EC. We are aware of the good work they have done thus far, but this is a 276-member chamber. We are 275. The Electoral Commission, in a statement, has said that it is ready to finalize, but tax are preventing it from doing its work. There can't be any more silence on this matter. I call on Mr. President to take charge and call the Tagri out. Mr. Speaker, we know that Mr. President, in his records in this House, was known to be a peace-loving Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, indeed, his calm approach in addressing media issues was what endeared him to the heart of Ghanaians. So without doubt, I may disagree with him, but I know he's a peace-loving Ghanaian. At Jubilee House, maybe he may be too busy to read the newspapers or to watch the news. But
this is the kind of foolishness he exhibits in Parliament. So he knows the law. He was calling on the president to take action. He was calling on the right agencies to take action. But somebody will say, oh, now say Afenyo Markin or your NPP ni. I expect the NPP today as a political party. Now, I'm talking to the NPP leadership. I'm talking to the 88 pigs in Parliament. I am talking to the so-called Council of Elders in the NPP. You want Ghanaians to watch this and vote for the NPP? If you guys condone this act that I have shown to the world, if you people are going to sit there and say this is okay, then none of you guys deserve our attention from today. Now we know the party is a party of thugs. Oh, so Afenyo Markin, yes, the party itself, they have decided not to speak because it's a party that condones murder. It's a party that is filled with thugs. Michael Kwe, Ekufuado, those leaders, Hakmado Uswajiman, the people, J.A. Kufuor and the rest, you see they are quiet because this is what the party represents. This is what the party represents. Are you not ashamed to be a part of the NPP and the NPP that has a minority leader who is a thug, who is a foolish thug? This is not just an embarrassment to the NPP. This is an embarrassment to Ghana Parliament. And I'm speaking to Speaker of Parliament. Are you going to allow this filthy riffraff to stand in front of your Parliament to make laws? Who is going to respect the Parliament of Ghana? Who in their right senses will sit and say, let me respect the Parliament of Ghana? Because the records are showing, technology has shown around the world that you have a member of Parliament who is a minority leader who went out to attack a police officer in uniform. This shouldn't be taken as a joke. Mami and this idea will grow. The party itself should purge itself from this guy. The NPP should be thinking about getting a better leader in Parliament to lead the NPP, because from today, a fool will not even respect the NPP minority in Parliament. No fool. Is this guy going to come back and sit in Parliament and tell me, Kevin, or tell you Ghanaian to respect him? Is this fool going to come back to Parliament and tell Ghanaians that I am an honorable man and that what I say you should listen? Is this fool Afenyo Markin, this twerp, this idiot, is this fool going to come back to Parliament and tell Ghanaians that he is an honorable man and that the decision he is making, the things he is talking about, they are things that we need to absorb and use to govern this nation? That is why I'm saying this is not just something that affects MPP Nkwao. Where you are there affected Parliament. Where you are there affected Parliament. Parliament is an arm of government. It's one arm of government. Kwasi Ampenyi will go Supreme Court. I didn't go Supreme Court because of see, Parliament here, one arm of government, and nobody is supposed to do what? Intimidate. Nobody is supposed to disgrace. Nobody is supposed to try and belittle Parliament. This fool. Ochina Parliament biya into more MPP4. You expect Afenyo Markin to rise up and talk to Yanni Ghana for said yen. Because a whole political party, you are condoning this nonsense. You expect this guy to come and lead you. And you expect we Ghanaians to respect you. And you, Ekufuado, you, Hakman Uswajiman, you, somebody called Michael Kwe, you, these elders in the party, a party in opposition, you expect rational Ghanaians who are still angry to do what? To listen to your parliamentarians, to listen to Afenyo Markin and make a decision. Now, the question to the MPP is simple. Afenyo Markin ebe lead mu for 120 days as a minority leader. A dear partner MPP as minority, what have you achieved under this dog? I am asking you people. Now I'm saying I'm ready an hour ago. Now I'm ready the achievement of John Mahama after 120 days in office. Me busamu MPP for me show a video that will be on record for years. The question is, Akwa Webeye MPP minority leader. We are basically in 4 months. What are his achievements? What are his achievements? Because today, everything about Afenyo Markin, Ghana history, politics about Afenyo Markin say he's the first minority leader, a politician from the MPP who stood in public and slapped a uniformed police officer. Hey, this is not a joke. This basically brings the party into a shithole. And anytime people say, for 4 months and minority, what has he achieved for you people? Now let's go into Afenyo Markin's 120 days. Afenyo Markin's 120 days. The reason why we are here today, the reason why we're telling the MPP, say, if you don't change this guy, if you don't make sure this fool is taken away from your front, the NPP can never be attractive to Ghanaians again. And I know, because the NPP is filled with animals, with people who don't think, with people who think Ghanaians are stupid. But this guy, it basically sums up the last 4 months amuko opposition. Wako police in Afenyo Markin after 120 days. These are the sins of Afenyo Markin. This is a party that wants to come to power. This is a party that wants Ghanaians to see, say, they have rebranded themselves. This is a party that Ghanaians want Ghanaians to believe, say, they are a party with intelligent people who are humble, who respect the rule of law. This is Afenyo Markin will lead a party in opposition. The question here is, a day in Afenyo Markin in the past 4 months, or leading the MPP in opposition, what has he done? And Afenyo Markin as the leader of the MPP in parliament, a lawmaker, a minority leader, is that he has slapped a police officer on duty. These are the sins of Afenyo Markin. And we will never forget this. These sins are not going anywhere. And MPP, let me tell you people, someone will say simpler. This is the beginning of your party. This party will collapse because you have allowed a fool to lead this party. Yeah? Afenyo's sins only made the MPP look bad before reasonable Ghanaians. Now, since Afenyo Markin was made the majority leader by Ekufuado, a position he clearly didn't deserve, according to a former leader, Oseche Mensah Bonsu. He has always wanted everything to be about him and not the party or its progress. He wants to make news and always be in the news for his personal image, enhancement, and not the growth of the party. These are facts. Since somebody Afenyo Markin as a minority leader, a thug who is slapping uniformed police officers, he has always made everything about himself. That is why every single day this party keeps going down the shithole. But because Mwejiminti, Afenyo Markin became the majority leader in 2024 because it was Ekufuado's idea. Not because Ekufuado was looking for somebody who was competent, or not because Afenyo was competent to lead. They knew Afenyo psychologically wasn't matured enough to lead a group of men and women. But because Ekufuado, because of his selfish interest, no against the MPP for Jimmy, so he needed Afenyo Markin to come do dirty job for him. So the guy is not cut for the job. And since he became the minority leader, it has always been about him. It has always been about what he wants. It has always been about his foolishness. It has always been about disgracing and running the party down. Anytime people say MPP say, "Mo party no," for you people to be comfortable with Afenyo Markin, who slaps a police officer in public as the minority leader, mo party no, mo expect to say Ghana for, you better not say Ghana for tomamo. Penyini party no mubium. Now let me show you the sins, the 120-day sins of Afenyo Markin, since he became your minority leader. Now, Afenyo Markin moves to Supreme Court, and these are some of the things that Ghana for bufu. The reason why Ghana for don't want to abanity MPP in 2024 was these actions that Afenyo Markin take here. Because you see, at a point, Afenyo Markin was underestimating Parliament. And he said, analyze here. The actions of Afenyo Markin, the latter part of Murray, he is the person who cost you more. Yeah? Afenyo Markin moves to the Supreme Court to restrain the Speaker from declaring independent seat vacant in October 2024. Sa action Afenyo Markin eteki, it basically made a lot of Ghanaians angry. Their anger towards the party swelled. It became bigger. You know why? Because Afenyo Markin, at the end of the day, the same parliament that made him a human being, he wanted to do what? Denigrate the parliament. He wanted to take the power of the parliament and then to give to the Supreme Court. Now, this action angered the courts of public opinion against the NPP, even though this instance wasn't part of the petition for the removal of the CJ from office. This instance by Afenyo Markin made Parliament look weak with no power, and such a move only infuriated reasonable Ghanaians to vote massively against the NPP. When Afenyo Markin took that decision, make sure Afenyo Markin, since he became opposition, from majority leader to opposition leader, this is what Afenyo Markin has done to you people. So that decision no take here, no. What he did, time or day, Parliament, echo Supreme Court, what he did was that he made Parliament look weak. Parliament that is part of. Parliament now, Okahono, we had few months to elections. Afenyo Markin deliberately decided to disrespect Parliament, to make Parliament weak. It made reasonable Ghanaians angry. Because one, the people were already angry with the government. How can you, as the majority leader, then decide to take the power of Parliament to make Parliament look weak, to make your party and yourself look bigger? Because even in the party, Afenyo Markin saw himself say he was what? He was bigger than the MPP. Now, what made people so angry was when Afenyo Markin took that case to Parliament, to Supreme Court, it took the Chief Justice less than 48 hours to make sure she constituted a panel to sit on the case. So everybody was like, the perception that people had that the Supreme Court, led by Tokonu, she was flirting with Afenyo Markin, that action actually put the ice on the cake. And some Ghanaians who were not even thinking of voting against the NPP now were convinced that if we don't do something, the NPP will run this country down and they are going to run the Supreme Court down. Because the actions of Afenyo Markin and the actions of the Supreme Court Chief Justice, it is clearly showing, say, in Sema yet, it is true. So Afenyo Markin rendering Parliament weak, thinking that was going to make him powerful over the NPP and also was going to, at the end of the day, make his girlfriend Tokonu powerful. It actually pushed the NPP into opposition. It is some more problems now, the opposition now. The day you made Afenyo Markin your majority leader in opposition 2020 in power 2024, ever seen there, Afenyo Markin ran him party down. On the Democratic opposition. There were so many people who voted against the NPP because of this action. And I'm showing the Afenyo Markin obey dim into the wire in there, it is worse. Do you think any reasonable Ghanaian what cry will soon say opesa Ghana will sit and say a minority leader slaps a police officer and that person na adwene ye adwuma say me koto aba masa party only power